All right, Maclay football fans, welcome to another edition. This is the 2021 fall season, and we are ready for the preseason. It's fourquartersonline.com, and I am Mark Adams, and I'm here with my tag team partner, Coach Johnny Cofield, and we are proud to bring another season of Maclay Marauder football here at beautiful And so, as we get ready to begin kickoff, looks like the Marauders will go ahead and kick it away to Port St. Joe. And that's Tucker Hicks, returning kicker, who lines up, kick it away. And it's going to be fielded, and the official looks like he's going to mark that one down. The Marauder defense will take the field for this preseason matchup. We got quite a few returners coming back from last season. Jeb Bashirs will help lead the defense along with Shelby Harrell and a host of others, Tucker Hicks, Hayden Hilliard, Ethan Hosapian. Had a chance to talk to a few of those guys at Media Day, and that's going to be a quick run up the middle by Port St. Joe, and he's got daylight, and I don't think any Marauders will catch up to him. And just like that, Port St. Joe. Back deep for the Marauders to receive the kick is going to be Eli Harrell and Shane Croston. Shane Croston is arguably one of the more explosive guys on this team. Coach had a great season last year at wide receiver, and it'll be interesting to see where he falls into the fold this year. Got a couple of guys missing. Got a couple of guys missing from last year's team, and really just going to have to rely on some young guys to pick up the slack this year.
Yeah, I think that was they were concerned about passing and when they looked up and the big man took off, it's tough. When you worry about a team that can pass and also
and so because of the preseason, I think it looks like we're not going to be seeing too many kick returns tonight. Yeah, absolutely. I think that there is just it's going to be some big shoes to fill from last season, but we'll see. And that's going to be a handoff up the middle. Nothing doing there. Has been a factor all summer long. This has been one of the hottest summers I think we've ever had in recent memory. Coach is definitely trying to do what they feel is necessary to keep kids safe. But it was easily 90-something degrees earlier before kickoff. Temperatures dropped significantly. It is still very, very hot out here. Yeah, weather was a little bit iffy. We had the tropical storm earlier this week. Really wasn't again, we're going to do some. I think most of the kicks are going to be dead by officials. We're not going to see too many returns here tonight. Port St. Joe will take over for their second series. 10:19 left in the first. So Maclay looking for some offense here as they send their defense back out on the field. There's another end-around run, and he's going to break free again. And that was number 4.
A surprise, I guess, watching the Port St. Joe run the football. They got a
that was DJ Oliver.
Close to, 3,000 yards last year. He had to drop back to pass one time.
Port St. Joe is going to have a first down. And there's Oliver again up the middle. The big bruising running back is going to grind out what looks to be like another 5 yards. And so, Coach, I'm sorry, that was Aiden Gaynor, excuse me. And that's going to be another handoff to number 5.
Really working on their running game.
And so
we haven't seen them drop back to pass. Yeah, I guess Coach Jones, he pulled one on us.
Yeah, I think it's funny. He has got the area's leading passer from last year, and so far he hasn't thrown a pass. So Port St. Joe has another fresh set of downs. And this time, Abianson is going to roll out. He's got a man open in the back of the end zone. It's going to be caught, and that's going to be a touchdown. Port St. Joe has found the end zone.
Mark, that's what the run game will do for a passing attack. It keeps everybody honest. And that read option was pretty tough. He had a man in the flat. One behind the corner, they really put him in conflict. Look, it'll be tough when you got the running attack going like this and can actually throw the football as well as they do.
And so Port St. Joe out to a comfortable 13-0 lead here in the first quarter, and really it's just been all ground game for the Sharks. Up until the end of their last drive, Colin Abianson, the area's leading passer, hasn't really had a chance to show off his abilities just yet, but Port St. Joe is looking good here in the first quarter. 9:04 left to play. So Tiger Sharks out early, 13-0 with 9:04 left to play in the first quarter. And
Mark, that running attack has really been tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
It keeps the defense on its toes. When they drop back to pass, everybody's up.
Yeah, Maclay really
have
missing
no
some of
clue.
the defenders that they had last season, as a lot of young guys are going to be needed here this season to kind of fill in the holes. But still plenty of football left to play here. Port St. Joe lines up to kick it away again. And again, we won't be seeing any return kicks tonight. This is as a safety precaution. Normally in the preseason, we don't see all three phases of the game in action. As coaches want to minimize injuries. And so Maclay will take over for their second series. Grant from the shotgun trips down to the bottom of your screen. Man in motion. And that pass is going to be tipped and dropped. And that was Caleb Hutchin, the intended receiver. And Coach Maclay just looks a little...
They look like a bit out of sorts today. Maybe they got to warm up about an hour and a half before Port St. Joe, and they came in about 40 minutes and got warmed up. Maybe they're a little tired. Maybe they warmed up. It was like 100 degrees out here, and the temperature just dropped.
Yeah, Marauders not
just
looking
for
as
kickoff.
explosive here. So I'm sure Coach Raymer will have something to say about that. Grant drops back, has a man, but he is immediately hit and dropped by number 2, Lawan Zakario, in on the tackle for the Sharks. And that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Marauders. Third down and 13. Marauders have the ball on their own 27-yard line, and really, if you're Coach Raymer, you're trying to see if your team has any kind of life coming out here. And so far, Marauders have not shown any kind of spark on offense. Well, Grant drops back from the shotgun, has a man on the outside, and it's just going to be still very early in the game, but
Port St. Joe is hyped up the.
And so Port St. Joe will take over 1st and 10 from their own 45. So it's 7:53 here in the first quarter.
The Marauder, somebody on the Marauder team needs to make a play.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Coach.
I guess that's,
looking to see who's
obvious, but somebody got to make a play.
Early on in the preseason, you have these matchups like this because you want to be able to see how your team's going to look. And that pass is tipped and still caught. Number 5 for the Sharks, that was Nick Jefferson, who was Johnny on the spot and was able to pull that one in.
Somebody, I think the linebacker stepped in the passing lane and tipped it. A lot of it usually is an interception when that kind of happens, but it fell right in one of the Sharks' hands. Tough break. The Marauders needed some help on this coming up on this series, not allowing them to score another time during this time, and it's very difficult when you get behind it. And I know it's just a preseason game.
And that ball's going to be on the ground.
There you go.
And Sharks look like they jump on it before Maclay can have an opportunity. That could have been a
chance,
momentum changer for the Marauders.
That's the kind of thing that you need to happen. Sometimes when things are not going your way, you need the other team to maybe relax a little bit and you can take advantage of it.
And so that's going to bring up 2nd and 14 for the Sharks. They've just crossed midfield, and that's going to be another handoff. Running back still on his feet, evading defenders everywhere, and he's finally brought down just inside the 10. DJ Oliver. And so once again, Sharks inside Marauder territory, looking for another score. Amian drops back, and he's got his man. Touchdown, Port St. Joe. And with just a little bit over 6 minutes, Tiger Sharks are out to a commanding 19-0 lead over the Marauders. Extra point is no good. And so midway through the first, Maclay trailing 19-0. It's been all Port St. Joe early, mostly due in large part to the efforts of Oliver and Jefferson. Amiason has thrown one touchdown pass, but really it's just been a Sharks ground game.
Man, this is impressive. Coach Jones has really worked out. I guess Port St. Joe want to do a little bit of things different now. They throw the ball all over the field, leading passer, and all we've seen is running tonight.
And so if you're Coach Raymer, I just have to imagine that you're looking for your team to come out with a little bit more energy here in the latter part of the first half. Still early, as Maclay will now take over for their third offensive series. And this is a little bit surprising. They still got quite a few guys coming back from last season. Looking at the roster, it's just where are those guys located in terms of being on defense, because clearly there's some key pieces missing from last year's team. But I know I could look at what Coach Raymer's just imagining what he's probably saying to his guys is hey, gentlemen, where's the effort?
Well, what I've seen is it look like the middle is wide open. No one's coming up making plays. And I think they need, at least it's a spring, not a spring game, but it's a kickoff classic and it doesn't count. And you can correct. Most of the improvement come from the first to the second and third week. You see a team improve, and this can be corrected.
Yeah, absolutely. The old adage is that you can kind of tell how your team or how your season is going to go based on the first 2 or 3 games. And Coach, you've been there before. You've been in situations where you've had a complete turnaround midway through the season, so you never really know. And so Maclay will take over their own 20-yard line. Trips receivers down to the bottom of your screen. Grant, once again from the shotgun. Grant gets the snap, looking for a man on the crossing pattern, and it looks to be some confusion. Bashir's kind of held up there for a minute. Not really sure if he and his quarterback were on the same page.
When you throw that pass, you don't want to lead him. You want to stick it to him coming in because you're in traffic. You're with the linebackers, strong safety. You got to put it right on him. You can't lead him in that area.
And so that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Grant once again from the shotgun is going to drop back, looking for a man to the outside. He hits the running back. Running back scampers up the sidelines, and he breaks free. And there's the offensive spark as he's still on his feet, trying to get more yards.
That's what we're used to, Mark.
With the offensive spark that was sorely needed for the Maclay offense.
Taking advantage of outside of the defense, trying to find that area where they can make a play, and I think they had a great play. You look at Coach set that up real well, and now you're in deep in their territory, and let's see what happens.
And that's going to be about a 55, 60-yard pickup for Maclay as they now finally get into St. Joe territory. There's Grant once again, finding receiver on the outside, looking for some running room, scampers for about 3 or 4 yards, and Marauders
they're like they found
in
something
business.
that works, Mark. I noticed on the Port St. Joe team, a lot of guys got their hand on the hip, which is an indicator they kind of winded.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been hot. Let's not make any mistake. It has been one of the hottest summers on record, so we may see some cramps or some hands on hips here, but Marauders are definitely looking to take advantage of the opportunity. Grant scrambled for his life, and he's going to be hit and dropped. And that's number 7, Weston Brockelman, who was able to sneak through the offensive line. And you hate to see that happen as it just kills your momentum, especially when you're so close to the red zone.
You want to stay ahead of the chains, especially when you're behind early in the game. You want to have some momentum.
And
you had that big play, and now, Mark, I noticed one thing about the coverages in the secondary. They must feel like they can handle the Marauders man-to-man because there's no safety in the middle of the field.
Right. Trips to the bottom of your scheme. Grant, once again, on the crossing pattern, he's going to hit number 1. I think that's crossing. He's going to take a licking right before he gets dropped, but not before he picks up about 6 or 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 4th down here.
Mark, on that play, what you want the receiver to have to be able to do is catch it, stick his foot in the ground, and get north and south as soon as possible. You don't want him to keep going across field.
And so that's going to bring up 4th and about 6 or 7.
That play is open all day. They can go right back to it. You see that DB? You see the DB backed off a little bit? He was all crowding a lot of scrimmage before.
Port St. Joe definitely trying to keep everything 5 yards in front of them. On the defensive side, Marauders are going to go for it. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Grant from the shotgun. And we've got a timeout. And so while we have a timeout here on the field, we're going to pause to take a timeout as well. This is 4 Quarters Online. We'll be right back right after these messages. So we had a quick timeout to talk things over. Marauders still looking to take advantage here on 4th down. Trips to the bottom of your screen. There's Shane Crossan up there, lonely receiver to the top. There's Grant. He's going to go outside, looking for Crossan. Can't find him. He goes back to the middle and just overthrew his receiver. And that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Marauders. And really, man, how crucial was that sack there on 2nd down?
Yeah, those 4, losing those yards. Now you got to make up. You got downfield. Football is like a military, a battle, gaining ground. And when you can't give up any, especially when you're behind 19-0, and you need something positive. But at least they're back up deep in their territory, and so maybe the defense will bring some this series and stop the Sharks from just running up and down.
So Port St. Joe defense hangs in there with 2:57 left to play in the first quarter. As Amienson from the shotgun position is going to hand it off once again to the running back. Skirts a defender, scoots around the outside, and he is off to the races once again. One defender to beat, and he is gone. And it looks like the officials are going to say he stepped out of bounds. And that for sure was going to end up in the end zone.
A lot of missed tackles in them.
And that looked like P.J. Jones was going to be, he said, hey guys, I want to get in on this scoring position too. And so Sharks will take the field position definitely. And the Maclay defense definitely trying to establish themselves here. Amienson's going to hand it off again. Running back is going to shake off several defenders, stays on his feet before he's finally hustled out of bounds. The Maclay defenders are getting penetration up the field. They're just not able to bring these running backs down.
You got to bring him down. You got to get.
They're getting arms on him. They're touching shoulder pads, but they're not able to bring him down.
Roll your hips and bring him to the ground. He's a load.
And that's DJ Oliver, the big running back for Port St. Joe. He's just had a field day in this first quarter. Man goes in motion. Amienson's going to drop back to pass, looking for a man over the middle and just overthrew him. And that pass was intended for number 2 for Port St. Joe, Lawan Zacario. And so this is the preseason, Coach. You've been through this several years. What are the kinds of things that you're looking for in the preseason?
You want to see who you can depend on. It makes a big difference. You're watching the game. Even in a game like this, who still fight? That's what you want. You want to see somebody going to fight through, because you can get behind, but 2 big plays and you're in the game.
So Amienson once again from the shotgun. He's going to hand it off immediately to number 4.
Oh, man.
And he's still on his feet. Finally brought down. And that was DJ Oliver once again. And DJ is forcing the Maclay defense to get their money's worth.
Man, they're going to take everybody to come and bring him down. He's a load. I don't think it's any secret who getting the ball.
No, when you got a back like Oliver.
They got the big backfield in there.
Amienson once again in the shotgun. Looks to hand it off. Nobody there. Looks like some confusion before Amienson was going to have to
Did he make it?
Take it himself on a quarterback keeper. Not sure if that was going to get enough for the first down. Official says it is. And that will move the chains for the Tiger Sharks. And so that was a busted play, but Amienson had his wits about him and was able to pick up the extra few yards there to keep the drive alive.
When you have an experienced quarterback like that, they don't panic. He knew that.
Amienson was one of the top passes in the area last year. He hands it off to Oliver again, who's on his feet. finally brought down by number 2 for the Marauders.
I don't think it's any secret about who's going to get the football.
And that was James Mura on the stop. And I think the Marauders are just looking for their defensive identity right now. Just trying to find out who's going to be in what position and who's going to step up. And, Coach, you talked about reliability. Who can you depend on?
This game is about who you can depend on in a fight.
And trips to the top of your screen. And it is a screen pass. Amundsen dumps it off to number 10, who's got plenty of running room and goes in the end zone untouched. That was Aiden Gaynor for the touchdown. And the Sharks are out front with a commanding 25-0 lead here. And it's still the first quarter. Kick is up and good. Tiger Sharks 26, Marauders nothing.
We're still in the first quarter.
Okay, we want to read off a couple of sponsors here. Accentria Insurance. A special shout out tonight to a top Marauder sponsor for the football program, Accentria Insurance. If you have insurance needs, please see Nathan Marks at Accentria Insurance here in Tallahassee and also on the web at www.accentria.com. Accentria Insurance, proud sponsor of Marauder football here in 2021. And Coach, it's a preseason, and Maclay's still looking for an offensive identity and really a defensive identity as well. And, you know, we're
well, Mark, this is
really looking at what the season's gonna hold up to here this season, and it's just gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a fight, especially in 3A, because Maclay is in the same region as Florida High, and they're one of the top-ranked teams in the state. And so,
well, Mark, you hate to say it, but game really doesn't mean anything, but is a good parameter of finding out who you got. Who can I depend on? What player? I'm looking now. We behind. Who got the head down? Who can I depend on? Who's going to fight? And that's what I'm looking for. Because in a football game, it's not about a fight. And if you can't find any guy to fight, any of these guys to do the things you need them to do, because you can correct. So a lot of these things are correct. Tackling is just want to.
Yeah, I think Coach Ramers definitely looked to ignite his team, generate that spark again. And so as the first quarter winds down here, Grant's going to drop back. Has a man. He's hit, and pass is going to fall incomplete. And Port St. Joe defense establishing themselves early on.
Can't get it to work.
So officials going to talk some things over here. And the flag that was thrown is going to be waved off. Marauder faithful a little bit upset about that, but 29 seconds left in the first quarter. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. And Grant from the shotgun. Twin receivers either side of your screen. Takes the snap, going to drop back, looking for a man, and he's going to be dropped immediately. Ball's on the ground. It's going to be picked up by the Sharks.
Mark,
and Port St. Joe is going to get the turnover just before the end of the first quarter.
Seconds to go in this quarter. Difficult start for the Marauders. Practice is going to be something else next week.
Absolutely. I'm not sure what Coach Raymond's going to dial
you
up
have
for
control
practice,
over
but
a lot of
they're
things.
definitely going to try and get some things fixed.
Mark, you got control over a lot of things. You control how your ball security. You control how tough you play, and you control on it. That's effort.
And so Marauders find themselves in a really deep hole here as we wind down the first quarter. And looks like somebody jumped off sides on that one
early.
as the jet sweep will be nullified. And that will back up the Sharks here. 5 yards. But still within striking distance. And
we've got again.
Another offsides penalty will probably be assessed. That's going to be a false start. Looked like a lineman jumped in it. Coach, you try to get everybody on the same page, and I know, especially playing on offense, it can be frustrating, especially those first few games where you're trying to get into a rhythm and somebody not hearing the snap count correctly.
They're too anxious.
And so that's going to back up the Sharks another 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 20. Or it's still 1st and goal, technically. But the Sharks now on the Marauder 20-yard line. Man goes in motion again, fakes this handoff, throws it up, and
that is a great
catch. Is an amazing catch.
I thought that was an interception.
It was tipped by the defender. I think that was.
He was there.
Defender was all on top of him, and I was amazed that he was able to come up with that.
Play.
And that will give the Sharks 2nd down in about a foot. And that'll do it for the first quarter. And so at the end of the first quarter, as we move into the second, we're going to pause and take a break here. This is 4quartersonline.com, and we'll be right back right after this. Okay, as we come back from out of the timeout, out of the break here, start the second quarter. Port St. Joe knocking on the door once again. And if you're just joining us, it's been all Sharks in the first quarter as they are out to a commanding 26-0 lead. And the end-around run is going to go into the end zone, and we'll tack on another 6 for the Sharks.
Mark, I think that was a little wildcat they just did. Something different. And I'm assuming the Sharks are working on some things they might want to do during the season.
And Sharks come on to kick the extra point. And that one's going to be blocked and will be no good.
Now that's a part of the game where those kicks are very important. And when you're in a close ball game, you want to be able to make your extra point. Mark, Coach Raymer's going to have to get these kids' heads up. Losing like this behind by 32-0. One score changed the whole attitude of your football team.
Yeah, this was a little unexpected coming in for the preseason game. And, it's a preseason, but you definitely want to have a better showing than this. And I think Coach Raymer definitely will have his notebook will be full of ways to solve these problems that he's seen here in the first quarter tonight.
Mind you, this is a very good football team they're playing. They got a lot of players returning from last year. Their quarterback is returning.
Yeah, this is a heck of a preseason draw for the Marauders. Port St. Joe playoff team from last season. They play in a very tough 1A North, and you won't find tougher teams in the state of Florida than you will in 1A. And really just when you look at the gauntlet that they went through in their schedule, they played a state champion, a state runner-up, and then a previous year state champion in a 3-game span. So Port St. Joe definitely battle-tested, but Maclay definitely has their work cut out for them. But there's still plenty of pieces in the schedule still may pose to be a little bit favorable as we get into the upcoming weeks. Marauders will take on Hamilton County right here at home next week to open the season, week number 1 here at Frank Shaw Field. And Hamilton County, another 1A school, coming from a different part of the state, just north of Lake City. But Hamilton is definitely, over the past several years, they had a state championship, or excuse me, a state runner-up team about 3 or 4 years ago. And so we'll see what the Marauders are able to do next week. But for right now, they've got their hands full with the Tiger Sharks still in the first half in this preseason matchup.
I see some the Sharks have put some more kids in, the younger kids in the game.
And there's Croston. Excuse me.
Wow.
It's Caleb Hutchin on the reception.
Really?
And that's looks like there's some laundry on the field, and that may be negated, and it will.
Man,
and that's frustrating.
I'm telling you. You got a positive play and you got a hold call.
Caleb was able to haul that one in. Caleb Hutchin was able to haul that one in, and that just negates a very good chunk of yards that are now going to come back, and it'll now be 1st and 20. And so mental mistakes here in the first half have done just as much harm as the Tiger Sharks have. So swing pass is going to be caught, but not before the receiver can gain any yards. He'll pick up about maybe a yard or two. And that will bring up second down.
You need something positive. Doesn't matter what the score is. You want positive things to happen. And when you're behind by this many points, you just want something positive. You want to show the kids. You want to have a reason when you leave this field today to show that you can do things. You want to be positive. You don't want anybody to have any doubt.
Grant once again from the shotgun, twin receivers either side, and he's flushed out of the pocket looking for a man, and that pass is going to fall incomplete once again. So facing a third and long situation again, as it's kind of been the tale of the night for the Marauders, as they've just been looking for any kind of offensive spark. And they've got some good returners from last season, just not able to get on the same page with their quarterback so far tonight. Trips receivers to the top of your screen. Grant's going to roll out, finds a man on the edge. And the receiver's going to pick up about 5. They're going to be well short of the first down.
Very difficult.
So Marauders facing a fourth down situation when they're deep in their own territory and still looking for that one positive play that'll lead to a score for the Marauders, and it just hasn't happened so far here in the first half.
And we have to be reminded this is a preseason game. But I'm sure the coaches don't think of it just that you want to win everything. You don't want to, whether it's preseason, in-season, playoffs, it doesn't matter. You want to win.
And that kick will sail out of bounds after just crossing midfield. And Port St. Joe will take over with fairly decent field position. And so Tiger Sharks will take over 1st and 10. Man going in motion. Amyson drops back looking for a man deep down the field. And it's going to be caught by number 1, Dakota Quinn. Hauls in the long reception, and Tiger Sharks once again are in business inside the Marauder red zone. Amyson is picking up where he left off last season, Coach. Just had a really good season last year and was throwing the ball all over the place, and it looks like he's picking up where he left off. Amyson once again looking for a man downfield. He's going to take off using his legs, and he's going to run it out of bounds right before he was able to pick up about, it looks to be about 4.5, close to 5 yards. And that'll bring up second down in about maybe 7. Tiger Sharks once again, twin receivers to the bottom of your screen. That's going to be a handoff to number 4, still on his feet. And he bowls over a defender trying to make his way to the end zone. DJ Oliver just having his way tonight. And Sharks will have the ball on the Marauder 1 yard line. And Coach, this is definitely one of those drives that puts the game into a position where it starts to get out of hand quickly.
You just
So the Sharks just had their way tonight with the Marauders, jumping out early and never looking back, and it's been their running game, surprisingly. And this is a throwing team, but
you just chalk this game up. It don't count. You great practice next week. You don't worry. I don't even see any reason to watch the film. Unless you just want to, coach will take it in there and show the kids what we missing, something to play.
And it's been kind of running back by committee tonight, but mostly DJ Oliver has done a lion's share of the work for Port St. Joe. And that kick will be muffed. And so Sharks 38, Marauders nothing, as we near the midway point of the second quarter. So while we've got a moment, we definitely want to shout out another Marauder sponsor tonight. We want to say a special thank you to Dr. Ronald Willis. Dr. Willis has been a longstanding sponsor of the Maclay Marauder football program and Maclay Athletics. As one of this year's top Marauder sponsors, we're excited to recognize him. Please see Dr. Willis, located here in Tallahassee, for your family dental needs. That's a big shout out to Dr. Ronald Willis and his dental practice as being a top Marauder here for the Maclay football program and Maclay Athletics. And so as we get down to the midway point of the second quarter, Coach, how do you strategize going into next week's practice if you're Coach Ramers? What kinds of things are you looking for from your kids? What kind of response?
Well, your kids know they didn't bring their A game, and you kind of just chalk it up, hey, we got that out of the way. Everybody has a game like this. I don't care how good you are, you don't come with your A game, and you make corrections. And I know we used to wait. We come on Mondays and we correct things. We can show them on the film what you did. If you didn't give us the effort, if you missed some tackles, and really, a lot of this is missed tackles.
And so the kick is going to be up and away.
Why do you wait to pick it up? Why do you run by it when the ball hits the 35?
And so Marauders really just kind of trying to find some positives here.
Every time they get something positive happen. That was
It's just been a rough go of it.
something.
And so we'll have trips to the top of your screen. Grant once again from the shotgun. There's a quick screen pass, and it's going to be complete. Back has running room, and Marauders have their first positive play of the second quarter here, as the screen pass will go for almost 20 yards.
No penalty flag.
So once again, Marauder offensive line definitely taking on the challenge here tonight, trying to protect their quarterback. And once again, trips to the top of your screen. Grant from the shotgun is going to roll out. Looking for a man downfield, and that's another completed pass. And that will be a pickup of about 16, as the Marauders have got something going here with 2 positive plays in a row.
That's what you want in a game like this. You want to be you want things to happen positive. Something to hang your hat on for next week.
And really, you just want to get your quarterback into a rhythm. You want him to be comfortable. You want your offensive unit to feel like that they can run these plays and pick up yards. So we'll have twin receivers either side of your screen, one running back. Quarterback Grant is once again in the shotgun. Man coming in motion. Grant drops back, hits his receiver. Receiver takes a defender, picks up a couple of yards. And that will bring up second down and about 8.
Mark, that corner did not bail. He stayed there.
Grant once again from the shotgun, looking for a man, has a scramble, and he finds one. And that'll be very close to a first down. Looks like he's going to have it.
They moved the chains. You want to keep something positive going on. You, what is this, a water break?
And that's Oberste, who came back and found his quarterback, noticing he was scrambling, was able to get open enough, pick up the first down. And so Maclay here is now cooking with their best offensive series of the night.
Mark, with a lot of times, the fans probably disappointed, but the coach is trying to establish something with the team, because every year, each team is different. And you want to find out these kids will continue to play hard. And if you can do that, that's all you can ask as a coach.
And so Marauders are definitely trying to take advantage. Moving the ball across field. Now resting on the Port St. Joe 32-yard line. Grant once again looking for a man downfield, and he's got one. That was Hutchin on the reception.
The Marauders are in position to get their first score tonight.
And so Maclay has the stove on, and they are cooking with gas as they are now inside the red zone for their first time tonight, looking for their first score. And Grant and company have been able to move the chains here consistently here for the first time all evening, as we are 5 minutes and 44 seconds left in the half. And we've got a handoff. That's going to be to number 24, looking for the edge, and he's got it. Touchdown, Marauders. Shane Croston.
You want to put some points on
the misdirection caught the Sharks flat-footed, and Croston took it in from 7 yards out for the score. And so Maclay has ended the drought and has found the end zone for their first score of the evening. Still trailing the Sharks 38-6. Kick is up, and it is good. So the Marauders.
If you can have a good defensive stop coming up, you have a chance to maybe put another point, some more points on the board just before the half.
And so as we So we're going to take a moment here to shout out another top Marauder. We want to give a special thanks to Brown's Refrigeration. Please see Jake Brown for your commercial and residential refrigeration needs. That's Brown Refrigeration. And to Advanced Business Systems, contact Brian Snow for all your office needs. Whether basic needs or the latest technology, they have it all. So that's a special thank you to Advanced Business Systems and Brian Snow and Brown Refrigeration and Jake Brown. And so Marauders put together their best looking offensive series of the night as they march down the field. And that's a booming kick.
That's what you want.
It's going to be a touchback, and Sharks will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20. And Coach, that last offensive series looked really good for Maclay.
Yeah, that's what you want as a coach. I can take that. I can look on the film and I can say that's a positive. Our guys, we behind by a lot of points, and now we put something together. We didn't quit. We put a little fight up. And now it's up to the defense. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that you see that your offense can generate enough protection for your quarterback, receivers and running backs on the same page, realizing that they can move the ball, you're looking for your defensive unit to step up here and create another stop. So Amundsen checks out, and we've got a new quarterback in. And that's number 2, and we've got some laundry on the field as Lawan Zaccaro will be dropped before he can pick up any positive yards for the Sharks. So that'll back up Port St. Joe quite a bit. Looks like it was waived. Still 1st and 10 from their own 20. Quarterback looking for a man outside. That's Oliver, who's going to be hit and popped.
Good tackle. First time I seen one man bring that guy down all day.
Bashirs in on the tackle.
It's third down.
Marauders have woken up here in the second quarter. 4:55 left to play. Third and 9 for the Sharks. Pass thrown over the middle, and it's going to fall incomplete. And Amundsen checks back into the game. So Port St. Joe now facing a fourth down, what looks to be a punting situation. And for Maclay, this is what you want.
Is this the first time they punted out game?
Yeah, this is the Sharks' first time punting. And Marauders will take over 1st and 10 on their own with really good field position on their own 45.
Yeah, a lot of time left in the game, and maybe they could put some more points on the board.
Yeah, plenty of time left as we're still 5 minutes away, or 4.5 minutes away from the half. And if I'm Coach Raymer, this is what I want to see. My team kind of waking up a little bit and, you know, kind of showcasing what they can do. And this year the Marauders are a little undersized on the offensive line, but they still got plenty of weapons coming back from last year. Croston, Hutchin, and Grant, some of the main returners from last season. Back comes in motion. Grant's going to hand it off, and he's going to be stuffed, trying to get up the middle.
They took out and put some of the starters back in on defense. I don't think that Coach Jones liked the idea that he gave up a touchdown with the young kids, and they got their starters back in there, linebacker.
And for no gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Marauders. Grant once again from the shotgun, trips to the top of your screen. He's going to roll out, being chased. Got a man open, and a diving catch. Good enough for the 1st down. And that was an excellent catch by Obersee, helping out his quarterback there, who was being chased
Mark, they
by
call
3
that
Shark
incomplete.
defenders.
They call it incomplete, Mark.
Uh-oh. And that pass is going to be incomplete, actually, but a nice effort. From my angle, it definitely looked like he had it.
I'm looking for something to hear on this.
Think, Caleb.
And so 3rd and 10, Marauders still on their own 45. From the shotgun, Grant looking back. He's got a man. It is complete.
They
and a
continue
nice
to match
throwing
up
catch.
one-on-one.
Caleb Hutchin hauls in.
He did
30-yard
a nice
pass.
swim move and release
35-yard pass,
and got
actually.
behind the DB. No safety in the middle of the field.
Nice route running by Caleb Hutchin. Got the drop on the Port St.
Wow,
Joe
that's a
defender.
simple-
Just
that's
hauled
real
in a
simple.
beautiful pass.
You take one step and release the football. You don't have to worry about your protection. And you got one-on-one out here with your best receiver. And they back again. He's still one-on-one. They have no safety over the top. I think he'll go back to it.
So once again, Grant rolling to the outside, looking for a receiver. He's going to be hammered. And we'll see what the flag is on that one.
That might be Spear on the Sharks.
We'll see what the call is. And Grant's going to walk over to the sidelines just to get
I think that was helmet to helmet.
And that'll be an automatic first down. I think that was
helmet to helmet.
So safety issues, definitely. You don't want to lead with the crown of your helmet, and I think Port St. Joe just a little too aggressive in on that one, picking up the sack, but it will result in a first down for Maclay. And Marauders will try to take advantage here with 2:45 left in the first half.
Caleb Wider.
Trip receivers to the top of your screen. Grant from the shotgun. Drops back looking for a man on the crossing pattern, and that's going to be batted down by the Port St. Joe defense.
Grant's back in.
Sharks making every effort to get penetration and get to the backfield, and it is working so far.
They're putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and they figure they can beat you, get to your quarterback before you can throw the ball and get rid of the football.
Yeah, Port
And
St.
it's
Joe
man to
definitely
man.
trying to.
I'm looking for another play out here.
Trips to the top of your screen. Man
It's
coming in
one-on-one.
motion.
That linebacker's coming. Great play.
Great move by Hudson, and
play.
he's going to walk into the end zone after shaking
They
the
set
defender.
that mark. They did a very good job. That corner was worried about getting beat, and he backed up. And the stop route, he wasn't in position to make a great play call. They can take advantage of this all day
And that's a matchup that you want to see.
because they're taking that linebacker strong safety on the weak side and bringing him inside to blitz the quarterback in it. You're not going to have any time to throw anything, a five-step drop. You're going to have to do one step and release. And the receiver is good enough to get away with. He can take advantage of it. That corner cannot handle him.
And the kick is up and on its way, and it is good. And Maclay tacks on two quick scores here in the second quarter to cut into the Port St. Joe lead. Sharks still on top, 38-14. With 2.5 minutes to go until the half.
Hey, maybe the defense can hold again and get another touchdown. Caleb Hutchins is having a great game. Although they're behind, Port St. Joe has no answer. They cannot continue to play that kind of defense against him. He'll score all night long. Let's see what kind of fire the defense can bring right before the half. You don't want to give up any more points, and you want to be able to play and get another stop and maybe get an opportunity to score. I guess Coach Jones wasn't too happy. He put Anderson back in the game. They put the starters back in.
So Port St. Joe, Amundsen back in the game looking for a man downfield, and that pass is going to be overthrown. And so this will bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Sharks. And that pass is going to be over the middle and complete. Great move. And that's going to go for a touchdown, but we've got a flag back on the field.
I see some laundry
and it
back
looks
here.
like that one will come back.
Mark, they're going to call that back. Holding on the Sharks. Although they called it back, what a great play by that young man. Nick Jefferson.
First down 20.
Second, Mark. They hit. Second down.
Oliver with a nice move, still on his feet. He finally dropped after picking up about.
It's 3rd down coming up.
So I mistake, that was not first down, it was 2nd down. It was 3rd down.
This brings up 3rd down. 14.
And so Amundsen drops back, rolls out of the pocket, still looking for a man downfield, and that looks like it's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver was DJ Oliver.
Defense stepped up that time, and they got another. You're talking about 4th down coming up, and Sharks are back deep in their territory. And they're getting ready to punt the ball out.
So that brings up a punting situation for the Sharks. Maclay defense does what they need to do to stifle the St. Joe offense. And Marauders will be able to take another shot here with a minute left in the half. So while we're waiting, we want to go ahead and call out Accentria Insurance. A special shout out tonight to Top Marauder sponsor for the 2021 Marauder football season and program, Accenture Insurance. If you have insurance needs, please see Nathan Marks at Accenture Insurance here in Tallahassee, and also on the web at www.accenture.com.
Let's see if the Sharks change their defense and see if they address. They're putting a bigger guy. They put number 2, Lawan Zacario, and they're going to press coverage on him. They look like man-to-man.
And so trips to the top of your screen. Hutchin once again isolated down to the bottom. Grant's going to roll out looking for a man. Just overthrew him, trying to avoid the pressure.
Mark, I'm watching Hutchins over here. Caleb Hutchins. He put a move on 2. 2 couldn't get his hands on him. And they're going to have a difficult time. You got to go with – I don't think they really have anyone to match up with him at corner.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He's been out there on an island by himself. Has done an exceptional job creating space and separation between the defender, and it showed on the last series.
He's doing a great job of getting his releases.
So, same formation. Hutchins still isolated down to the bottom. Grant's going to roll out looking for a quick dump off, and he's got it. Pass complete to number 3 for about 8. And that's going to be a timeout called by the Marauders. And so as we come back in, Maclay, and that's going to draw a flag, and I'm not sure who moved first. And it looks like the Marauders jumped first, and that's going to move them back. So with just under a minute, 50 seconds left, that's going to end up being 3rd down and about 8. Grant rolling out, flush from the pocket, looking for a man downfield, and he's just going to have to throw it away. And Hutchin definitely created some space out there, but his quarterback just didn't have enough time to get rid of the football.
He got great release, and what the defense is doing, they said, look, he might beat our DB, but we're going to beat your lineman and get to the quarterback.
And Port St. Joe was definitely winning the battle up front, but Maclay still finds some bright spots here and there. If they can get their quarterback out of the pocket, he seems to be able to find his receivers. And so that's going to bring up 4th and about 7 as Maclay's going to opt to go for it here. Grant drops back, looking for a man on the outside, and he's got one, still on his feet. And he's going to be close to a 1st down, and we'll see where the officials mark it. And that's going to be good enough to move the chains. Marauders picking up the 1st down. And again, Grant using his legs to find space. hit the open receiver, pick up the first down.
You got to be careful with that. He didn't catch the ball. He batted it down. Some officials might call that a fumble.
Fans, be sure to be ready at halftime for a special performance by the Marauder Dance Company and by our Maclay Varsity Cheerleaders.
So that's going to bring up second down and 10. Ball on the St. Joe 40. Grant flush from the pocket again. Still finds the open receiver. He's scampering still on his feet.
South.
Trying to find some room there, but not before he picks up about 8 or 9 yards there. Going to be very close to a first down, and it is. Oberste weaving his way through the Sharks defense to pick up the first down. Ball on the St. Joe 28. 10 seconds to go. And smartly, Grant hits Oberste as Oberste finds his way out of bounds. And, Coach, if there's only one play I'm going to run here. There's only one play I'm going to run here.
But I'm poor St. Joe. I know that, too. I think the clock ran off a little bit more time than
it did, but there's going to be about 5 seconds left on the clock, and I'm looking for Hutchin on the fade.
Yeah,
it's not really
1-on-1 out here.
It's
max protect.
You definitely want to isolate your best opportunity to create a scoring.
And what the Marauders are doing, they taking that linebacker out by putting a receiver.
And so, got a timeout here. Marauders are going to think it over.
Might as well. You have 5 seconds probably. Go run the clock out on this play for this half.
And so we want to take a moment to say a special thank you to Dr. Ronald Willis. Dr. Willis has been a longstanding sponsor of Maclay Athletics for many years. And as one of the top Marauders for this season, the Maclay program is excited to recognize him. Please see Dr. Willis located here in Tallahassee for your dental needs. Once again, that's Dr. Ronald Willis and his family dentistry. And so Maclay comes back out onto the field and really looking for the offensive line to create just a pocket of protection here for Grant. See if he can get this throw off. And if you're a St. Joe defense, then look for them to send somebody on a blitz here. Grant once again from the shotgun, trip receiver to the top of your screen. Hutchin, lone receiver down to the bottom, and there it is. And just overthrown to the outside. But that's kind of where you want to put the ball. You want to put it over his shoulder and don't give the defender an opportunity for him to catch it. And so there'll be 2 seconds left.
You want it on the field, though. They're going to send some guys over there. He got 2 guys watching him. Look for the middle of the field be wide open. Okay, they're going to kick it.
So field goal unit comes on to try. Tucker Hicks is going to see if he can attempt a 39-yarder here. On its way, and it's going to be good. Hicks.
Mark, the first half started off kind of bad for the Marauders, but looked like at the end, they put up 17 points. And They're still way behind, but that's an impressive end of the half.
And this is, you take your positives where you can. Definitely not the opening that they wanted here in the first half, but Maclay showed signs of life. Definitely moving towards the midway through the second quarter. And, you have to, kind of take what you can get. And I think defensively, definitely are looking for some guys to step up here. But from last season to this season is a complete different look for this team. Even though they returned quite a few guys, in the interiors where you can tell the difference is, especially on the offensive and defensive line and at the linebacker position. Just gave up a plethora of running plays in the first half that just really set them back.
Yeah, I think you also, though, you got a lot to really build on for next week. And when they're coming back scoring 17 points, I think that's impressive. And when your defense stopped them 3 straight times, they put their starters back in. It wasn't just the backups in there. They put some of the starters back in. And I think that's something you can build on for next week. And it looked real. And if they can continue that in the second half, man, they got a lot to be happy about.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're here at the half, we definitely want to give a special shout out to Brown's Refrigeration and Advanced Business Systems for being proud supporters of the Marauder football program. Please see Jake Brown for your commercial and residential refrigeration needs, and contact Brian Snow for your office needs at ABS Advanced Business Systems. So, Coach, it's the half. We'll see what Maclay comes out with, and we'll kind of see if they're able to keep some of this momentum going. So we'll hope that everybody will join us for the second half. This is Maclay Marauder football all season long here on fourquartersonline.com.
2 years ago, in this very site, we launched the I Think initiative. Two years later, we stand here in the new Beck Family Innovation Center coming out of the ground, going into the chemistry lab with the Beck Family Research Center behind us. This movement, this attitude of the I Think initiative has been amazing for our students because we're trying to honor our mission to make sure that we're helping our students reach their fullest extent by honoring the interests that each one of them have.
There is no set curriculum, so the teachers can teach how they want to teach kids, and I think that's really helpful.
I mean, I've heard from other schools, from other students, it's a very different learning experience for them. They don't have as much hands-on things as we do. We really get a good learning experience here. It's different, it's creative, it's outside of the box.
That undercurrent that the I Think initiative has been able to give us has pushed us forward. $7 million later, we have a wonderful Beck Family Research Center, and we're in the middle of construction for the Beck Family Innovation Center, which gives a lab space to the business and entrepreneurship concentration, new spaces, cutting edge technology for all of the core sciences. And then Langford Hall is going to be a wonderful gathering place that's also convertible for recitals and things where students are able to exhibit the things that they're really passionate about. One of the unique things about Maclay is that we are a pre-K through 12 school. So as we think about the work that we do with students, we're able to know what the outcome is and then drive that all the way back to a 3-year-old's experience. When I think about our alumni, can they walk out and know that no matter what the world's going to throw at them, they can do it? It's that understanding that life is a journey, but it honors those who take the field and have the courage to lean into those problems. That's what a Maclay graduate walks away with.
I think I can.
I think I can.
I think I can.
I did.
I did.
I did.
I did too.
I did.
I did.
I did.
I did too.
I did.
I did.
We did too.
My name is Avery Smith. I came to Maclay in 2016, came in as a freshman, and I moved from a different school. I ran cross country my freshman and sophomore year, and then I ran track all 3 years and plan to run this year as well. And then I played soccer all 4 years. And then the clubs I've been a part of Student Council, Anchor Club, Red Cross Club, and then Dance Marathon is my big organization that I'm a part of. Miracle Network Dance Marathon is a movement benefiting Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, an organization that raises funds and awareness for over 170 pediatric hospitals across North America. My freshman year, I signed up 2 days before, and I went that Saturday, and I immediately just fell in love with it. I think it's so cool that a group of students can get together and raise thousands of dollars for the families and for kids that with pediatric illness. I just know so many families that go to Maclay and that are in the Tallahassee community that are affected by Dance Marathon. So I think it's really important that we try to push all throughout the year and we get as much as the student body involved as we can. Dance Marathon has given me a chance to work with many different students and serve as a leader in Maclay but also in the community. I have been taking the business concentration classes because that's what I'm leaning towards majoring in college. So I've been able to take personal finance, risk and reward, and then this year I'm taking a directed independent study that's called marketing communications. So I've been able to see all the different bits and pieces that fall under that business branch, and so I kind of get a feel for what I want to focus on in college next year. I tend to thrive on a very busy schedule, so when I have to balance academics and social and athletics and all of that, I know like when it gets tough, it's preparing me for my life after Maclay this year, and I feel very prepared going into college. I'm Avery and I'm determined.
I am Eric Phipps. I started at Maclay early 2000s, sometime in pre-Cat. I live on a dirt road kind of out in the woods, and I've always kind of enjoyed being in nature and interacting with it. I've always wanted to make change, I guess. Biology seems like a field that would be really rewarding, and also I find it very interesting. I've found it interesting since 9th grade. Clay does have a band. It's nice to be able to participate and play the trumpet because I love doing that. Although it is also nice to be able to conduct. I love jazz.
Eric started in band in the 5th grade. He started on the trumpet and he has loved music ever since and has stayed with the band program ever since. And as he has developed, he has become more of a leader in the band, and the last 2 years he has become my student director. And what the student director does is to lead the jazz ensemble.
It's kind of hard to rein everybody in, especially when there's a student conductor, so you have to kind of be firm, and I guess I've learned how to do that. I've definitely grown since I started doing that, and I've learned more communication and leadership skills. I love Mr. Norman. He kind of teaches you more how to think than write, because not like he teaches you how to think, but he teaches you how to think for yourself. Basically, he teaches you that no piece of literature has one single meaning and you can interpret it however you'd like. And I think that's a really cool idea, something I learned in his class that I've never learned before. Something that's a recent interest, but I really, really want to do now is architecture. I'm going to college for engineering. That's the plan. And I really, really enjoy designing and building things. I have a lot of interests. I don't know which one I want to do, but currently I'm thinking about architecture. At Maclay, I've learned to respect my teachers and all the faculty and all the students around me, and I think that's probably the biggest takeaway. I'm Eric, and I'm inspired.
My name is Hannah Jose. I've been at Maclay since the 9th grade. Instantly, when I came into Maclay, I was connected with teachers, mentors, peers that helped me have like one of the smoothest transitions. I found a notebook on my teacher's desk at Holy Comforter, and it said Student Astronaut Challenge. And instantly I was like, what is that? And she explained it to me, and she said, hey, if you want to create a team, we need 5 people by tomorrow. And so I asked a bunch of my friends from different grade levels, and we had a team by the next day. And when I came to Maclay and found that there wasn't a Student Astronaut Challenge, I knew that I had to get this program started. So when I competed in middle school, I just remember loving it and wanting to learn more and wanting to know more. And so getting to help the middle schoolers really inspires me to continue what I'm doing. I just see them light up, and it's been an incredible experience because we're working together and they look up to me, but I am also looking for them for inspiration. So throughout my years, I have a particular love for biology, and in sophomore year I took my biology class, but unfortunately that's the only biology class. I wanted to be more specific. I wanted to guide my learning into one directed path, and so this year I've been able to create a class called Biomedical Science, and so I have been able to research different diseases from Alzheimer's to Parkinson's to MS. I'm a very active student. I play a lot of sports after school, and so that requires a lot of time management, but fortunately the teachers and all my coaches work with me and understand that all the students here are so active and so involved in many different things. Maclay is a really challenging school, but that has ultimately led me and challenged me to become the best student I can be. And it also has challenged me to be involved in so many activities, so I have been able to find my interests and my passions through all the opportunities Maclay has provided. I'm Hannah, and I'm determined.
I'm Hunt Dyson. I started at Maclay in kindergarten. I came from Faith Preschool. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed it a lot, especially going into high school. Like, I had that group of friends that I've known my entire life, and then I also got to meet a bunch of new people from coming outside. I started out just as a writer sophomore year. I had heard that my friends Emily Dudley, Ellie Castillo, and Rachel Stockel wanted to make the paper. So I contacted Mr. Normant, who redirected me to Mrs. Mayer, and they said I could come on as a writer. So I wrote, I think, a couple of articles for the newspapers that just got to start up. And then Will became student council president, so they needed a sports editor. So junior year, last year, I stepped in as sports editor, which was really rewarding. I want to say APUSH was probably my favorite class. I didn't think it would be. I've never been a big history guy, but that was a really, really fun class just because it went a little bit more in depth than I thought it would have gone, and it was just kind of cool to see the broad concepts that I learned as a little kid and then go a little bit more in depth as to why those things happen. I really enjoyed, honestly, all of them. They're all really passionate. I would say Mr. Normant's up there just because of how passionate he is about it. Dr. Bevan too. I had Dr. Bevan for the first time this year, but just how passionate he is about teaching it. If he reads a good line or something in Hamlet, he'll kind of slam his book on the table and just be like, wow, that was an amazing line, isn't that awesome? So it's really nice being able to learn from teachers who are super passionate and then can kind of relay that on you because it's palpable almost. It's just in the air, you're able to feel it. In 5 years, hopefully in grad school. I don't know what I want to major in, but I know after undergrad, I want to get my Juris Doctor degree and MBA, get that joint degree. And then as far as the job goes, I don't know. I think public relations would be pretty cool. Over the summer, I job shadowed a public relations firm, and I got a lot out of that. So hopefully interning and working on getting my graduate degrees. I'm Hunt, and I'm unstoppable.
I think in lower school and middle school I didn't really appreciate it as much just because it was school. Sophomore year is when I really started to grow and learn that this is your future and everybody here wants to help you. I was a baseball player until my sophomore year. I got tendonitis in my shoulder during the first game of the season, and I was also running track at that time, and I said, well, why don't I focus on running track and just getting better at that, and if I recover, I'll recover and I can go back to playing baseball, but let me try to be the best I can be while I'm running track. Fell in love with track, fell in love with cross country, and ever since then, it's just been running. Everybody here wants to help you. Like I said, I didn't understand that until sophomore year. That's when I realized I need to start doing my work.
I recommended Jay because not only is he one of the best runners in North Florida, South Georgia, but he knew that he needed to strengthen his schedule in order to be more competitive getting into colleges. He couldn't get in just based on his running, get into the college he wanted to get into. So he beefed up his schedule.
In college, I want to study anatomy and physiology or sports physiology. Don't know which one yet, but they kind of go together, so that helps. Future plans, I see myself running in college. Med school, some type of sports science, something around that field. That just keeps me in the loop of sports when I'm not actually doing sports anymore. So after the running career is over, you know, I can still be around sports because I love it. I'm Jay, and I'm inspired.
All right, checking back in from the halftime break. Marauders trailing 17-38. And it has been all Sharks in the first half. Kick is up and on its way. Fielded cleanly by the Marauders, where they will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
Mark, let's see what they do this second half. See if we're gonna have a start off. I think they only got 10-minute quarters coming up.
Yeah, we'll see if we can try to speed this thing along. It's been one of the longer preseason games we've been a part of. So we will have 10-minute quarters here in the second half.
And let's see.
And so the Marauders taking over on their own 20-yard line. Grant, with twin receivers to either side, will be from the shotgun. Grant drops back, flushed out of the pocket, finds a man on the outside, tries to shake a defender before he is rushed out of bounds after a nice pickup. Grant really using his awareness to find the open receiver, turning it into positive yardage. Port St. Joe sent 4 defenders.
I think that was a late hit out of bounds. That's a 15-yard penalty. And the Marauders are in business again.
The late hit penalty out of bounds will move the chains forward a little bit for Maclay, and that will put them across midfield into Port St. Joe territory. Grant once again with twin receivers to either side, operating from the shotgun. And he's going to be dropped. And as second down comes up, Grant once again from the shotgun, drops back. Swing pass is going to be swarmed by a host of Sharks for a loss. And Maclay moving backwards here, as that will bring up third down and about 14. 10-minute quarters here in the second half.
Wider, Caleb. Wider, Caleb.
As the clock runs down to about 8 minutes and 25 seconds here. Three receivers to the bottom of your screen. Grant once again from the shotgun, lone back in the backfield. And penalty will be assessed here, as it looks like we have a false start against the Marauders.
Their defensive tackle was 2 yards in the back.
And that will redo third down, but not before losing about 8 yards. Excuse me, being backed up another 5 yards. That will bring up third and long. The Marauders really looking to open up the second half. Some positive gains here. And defense going to flush Grant out of the pocket, throwing across his body. Pass falls incomplete, and then we've got another flag on the play.
You can't hold him like that, bro. You can't tackle him. Hell yeah, he tackled Grayson over here. Let him off the line.
And so penalty will be assessed here on third down. It looks like Maclay will get some of that yardage back on a defensive holding penalty against the Tiger Sharks. So defensive holding will be assessed. And that will bring up third down and 9. So we'll do third down for the third time. And Grant, with twin receivers either side, operate from shotgun. Man coming in motion. Grant takes the snap, drops back, looking for a receiver on the outside, and he's had him, and the receiver dropped the pass. Had the opportunity to pick up a first down and just couldn't haul it in.
You got to catch those.
Yeah, those are crucial.
It keeps the chains moving.
So Marauders are going to line up, put their kicker on the field to punt. And so as the Marauders line up to punt, clock trickles down to 7 minutes. Kick is up and on its way. And will be fielded at the 10-yard line of Port St. Joe. And that's where the Sharks will go into their first series of the second half, leading 38-17. Port St. Joe will take over on their own 10-yard line. And that's Oliver running free. And the turf monster almost got him, but he's going to walk into the end zone on a 90-yard touchdown run. Marauder still looking for answers on the defensive side. So Coach Raymer definitely frustrated with the missed tackles. It'll be interesting to see what they are able to work on going into week number 1. Next week, Marauders take on Hamilton County. First game of the season. And this preseason matchup has revealed a lot. Maclay definitely can move the ball if you get Grant out in space, but defensively, Maclay definitely still looking for
Port St. Joe,
some consistency.
Defensively, figure they can match up with the athletics players and play man-to-man and blitzing. They weren't concerned about it. They figure they can get to the quarterback without getting hurt in the secondary, and it's been very effective. Offensively, they're doing what they want to do. They're running the ball up the gut, and the Marauders just making a lot of missed tackles.
And so DJ Oliver's had himself quite a night here.
Too bad this game, the stats don't count when you're playing a preseason game. Probably be one of his better games of the year.
And for Oliver, this may be the end of his night. We'll see if he comes back into the game.
I think Coach Jones was concerned how the Marauders came out and scored 17 points in the second quarter. He wanted to put the game back, put the score up, and hopefully they can get some of these young guys opportunity to play.
Absolutely. The opportunities are there for Maclay. I think they're just needing to take advantage of them, especially. But the game just seems a little bit longer when you give up runs like that on the defensive side.
It's consistency. Doing it the right way most of the time, because nobody going to do it right all the time. And I think this, if you talk to Coach Raymer, he would probably tell you the defense got to do a better job, and the offense just got to be consistent. They got a lot of, they did a lot of good things so far in the game. They just got to continue to do that, work on the things that they can do. But this Port St. Joe team has a lot of speed and a lot of size, and I think they kind of overmatched the Marauders. They're one of the better 1A schools that you'll see.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in the trenches. Definitely see the size differences, and the matchups on the line are definitely swinging in the favor of the Sharks. As Maclay takes over, trips to the top of your screen. Grant once again operating from the shotgun, going to roll out, looking for a man outside, and he's got him. Right before he's hit and dropped, looks to be about a 5 or 6 yard gain. So Oberste on the reception is going to pick up 5 yards. And, you know, having Grant roll out has given Maclay all their opportunities tonight when he's been outside of the pocket, finding receivers on the edge, looking for mismatches, has given them the advantage and has been responsible for most of their points, especially when he hooks up with Hutchin. And here we are again with trips to the top of your screen, Grant operating from the shotgun. And we're going to have flag on the play.
I thought they wasn't keeping I thought it was not keeping a clock. The Sharks got a lot of young guys in there, and probably the starters on Port St. Joe.
So that'll bring up
sit
2nd
down
and
the rest of
10.
the night.
Grant rolls out, looking for a receiver down the middle of the field, and it's going to be too high. Oberste had a beat on his man, just couldn't connect with him.
Mark, he's running. He can't set up and set his feet to throw, and the Sharks are putting a lot of pressure. They're getting to him every play. He got to run for his life. He has to roll out. He hadn't been successful just sitting in the pocket.
And so trips now to the bottom of your screen, and it's a handoff. Running back still on his feet. Almost broke that one, and he's going to be close to a first down. A nice run. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Marauders after a nice run. So Maclay going to try to pick up the extra yard here.
They might have it.
And Port St. Joe a little too anxious.
And water break.
Coming back, Grant looking for the deep ball. Receiver was tangled up. Grant once again with trips receiver, excuse me. Dropping back to pass, looking deep, and just through the hands of the intended receiver. Croston was
nice
the intended
throw.
Receiver. Nice throw.
Just got to pull it in. It's on the fingertips.
Facing 3rd and 10. Marauders twins receivers on either side. And Grant, once again in shotgun. Looking to the outside. And pass is complete.
Finally made a connection there. It's been open all night. Just could. I guess if you keep going at it, you'll find it.
So trip receivers down to the bottom of your screen as Grant once again from the shotgun. Bubble screen was tipped, intended, and it looks like, was it almost picked off? Hutchin was the intended receivers. Coach, we've seen quite a few drops here tonight.
Man, it's first game, That's why you play these classics, to kind of get this stuff out of the way.
Ooh, receiver was dropped brutally. Flag on the play. And the penalty will result in unnecessary roughness. So the unsportsmanlike will give the Marauders a first down. Ball resting on the St. Joe 28-yard line. Grant drops back, There's another quick screen pass. And Port St. Joe defense not fooled at all on that one. And so once again, Grant swing pass to the running back.
And he did a good job. He stuck his foot in the ground and got north and south and got what he could.
And that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8. For the Marauders. Excuse me, 3rd down and about 6 or 7. We'll see. 1:45 left in the 3rd quarter. And that will be a delay of game penalty against the Marauders, as we're just at about a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Marauders still facing 3rd and about 11. Grant can't escape the Port St. Joe defense and will be hit and drop for a sack.
Wow, this is a 54-yard field goal.
So Maclay lining up for a 55-yard kick. And we'll see if he's got the leg. And that one looks like it's going to be short. Yeah, we're not doing returns here in the preseason. But looked like the snap was bobbled a little bit.
Yeah, well, it was a low snap. He did a good job. The holder did a good job of putting it down. That would have been an amazing kick from 55 yards. For a kid in high school, that's tough.
Yeah, we've only seen one of those. And so Port St. Joe, and there's a big defensive stop for Maclay. Marauders. And there's a high snap. And Port St. Joe's going to be backed up deep in their own territory on the errant snap. 9:01 left to go in the ball game. Port St. Joe 44, Maclay 17, and we've seen some flashes of Maclay offense and a few defensive
But the key to
plays
success this season going to be how well that defense plays. It's going to be very difficult when you're giving up chunks of yards, missing tackles.
So Port St. Joe has a new quarterback in the game. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Sharks. So we want to remind everybody about next week's game. Maclay taking on Hamilton County. Punt will be fielded at the 40-yard line by Maclay, and that's where they will take over and go to work. Marauders, 1st and 10 on the Port St. Joe 41. Here with 8:26 left to play in the ball game. So we want to give a special shout out to Brown's Refrigeration. Please see Jake Brown for all of your commercial and residential refrigeration needs. Also to Advanced Business Systems. Contact Brian Snow for all of your office needs, whether basic or the latest technology. They have it all. That's Brian Snow with ABS Advanced Business Systems. So Grant going to make the pitch. Ball is on the ground, and it's going to be scooped up by the Sharks, resulting in a turnover. And Port St. Joe will take over. So it just goes back to what you said about consistency.
Number 5, Zion G on the line of stops. Direction Brandon Smells. Shelby Harrell on the Marauder stops. Sharks first down. Seven minutes remaining in regulation.
Port St. Joe going to drop back. Pass is batted down.
James Stewart drops down the pass. Brings up second down.
Port St. Joe's going to drop back, looking for a receiver, and the pass is going to be dropped.
That brings up fourth down.
It's about 4th and 7, 8 yards to go. And let's see what the Sharks decide to do. They throw it or run it. They've been very successful running the football on any down they chose.
Port St. Joe has their backups in the game. Man in motion. Quarterback drops back, scrambling, still on his feet. And he's going to be dropped after about a gain of 2.
He's way short, and the Marauders will take over. Mark, I think you got a couple of things that the Coach Raymond has to consider when he got everybody a chance to play. He got his starters, and they had some success. And basically, on defense, they got to improve their tackling. They'll be in place, but you just got to make the play.
Maclay is going to pick up about 3 or 4 on that one.
5. Second down, 5.
5:48 left in the ball game.
Good run.
Brown on the keeper.
And that's Brown.
Man, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon. A lot of these young men, a lot of them haven't gotten a game speed together. They, I see more people with their hands on their hips, and it might have something to do with the length of the football game, but it's everybody's playing. Nobody should go home sad. At least I got to play.
Oh, nice pitch. And he's got the edge. And that's going to be a touchdown for the Marauders. Coach, that was a great awareness. Nice pitch.
A great pitch.
From Bound.
He's been it. They might have found something, Mark. The option looked deadly.
Templeton. That was a great read. As Maclay tacking on some extra points here late in the ball game. 5:24 left to go.
They got a reason to watch the film now, Mark.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When you put
Brown was
points
bottled up. Looked like he was going down, and he saw Templeton on the outside, and he just pitched it to him.
Mark, I guess when they watch the film, they're going to speed through the first quarter and say, hey, some bright spots for the Marauders is their kicking game look to be on point. If they get in a close game, they got opportunities because the kicking game looks it looks like they can depend on that.
Absolutely. I think that's a great sense of awareness. And Maclay has definitely lots of team speed. It's going to be interesting how Coach Raymer shuffles things around before week 1 of the season. So Maclay will kick it away. Sharks will field it. And will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. 5.5 minutes left in the ball game.
We look like we got young on young out here. A lot of guys getting in the game, getting opportunities to play. Nice design of a play.
And so this clock winds down just inside of 4 minutes. So there's another end around run. And Maclay really trying to make the most of these opportunities here. Maclay football would like to say a special thank you to Dr. Ronald Willis. Dr. Willis has been a long-standing supporter of the Maclay Marauder athletic programs, and as one of this year's top Marauder sponsors, we're excited to announce and recognize him. Please see Dr. Willis, located here in Tallahassee, as for all your dental needs. As we near towards the 3-minute mark, Coach Brown has really been using his legs.
He's a very elusive quarterback.
I also want to call out Accentria Insurance, to top Marauder sponsor of the football program, Accentria Insurance. If you have insurance needs, please see Nathan Marks at Accentria Insurance here in Tallahassee, and also on the web at www.accentria.com. Pass falls incomplete. Great move by Brown, elude the defender, and he takes a hit, but not before picking up the first down. Yeah, Brown really led this drive with his legs and looked excellent as Maclay punches it in again, cutting into the Port St. Joe lead, 30-44. Marauders still trail, but Maclay showing signs of life here, especially with Brown making some great reads. Not for a preseason game. 31-44, and it could still be entertaining.
I think he has something to build on, Mark. With kid, they come back putting up 31 points, and
even though the game isn't over yet, this is still pretty. I think if you erase the first,
the
first 15 minutes,
the players gonna tell coach, look, man, we came back. we just didn't get all the way back.
Port St. Joe keeping it on the ground here, not wanting to give the ball back to the Marauders. They're a first down away. And all alone. Yeah, this is something you don't see very often. That's 81 points combined in a preseason game. While we're waiting here, we definitely want to remind everyone about Brown's Refrigeration and ABS. For all your refrigeration needs, I want everybody to see Jake Brown. And for your business needs, we want everybody to contact Brian Snow at Advanced Business Systems. Whether basic needs or the latest technology, they have it all. Special thank you from Maclay Marauder Football to Brown Refrigeration and ABS. And so with 30 seconds left, Maclay will drop back to receive.
"35 seconds to go, Mark. You think we're going to get any more points? I mean, we got 81 points on the board. Man.
So Marauders are going to try and see what they can get out of these last 30 seconds here. And I think there's definitely some highlights on offense from Maclay. Just defensively, definitely need to find some answers.
I don't think Coach is too happy with defense. When you give up 50 points, man, he got a lot.
And Brown once again using his wheels to eat up some yardage here.
That's good. It's Marauder first down. Fans, remember to be here next Friday at Crenshaw Field as the Marauders take on Hamilton County at 7:30 p.m. Don't miss the top ticket in town.
Wow.
Great throw and catch.
might have talked too soon. They might get some more points.
And that was a great throw and catch. With 15 seconds to go, Marauders looking to take another shot here. This preseason matchup, Port St. Joe leads 50-31. Maclay definitely has shown some offensive prowess here late in the ball game, or late in the game, but
putting up a lot of points today.
Have to wonder why we haven't seen Brown with the ball in his hands.
He is not. You got to get it right, Mark. You're not playing against the starters. You got young on young. He looked like a bright future for the Marauders. Goes again. He scored. He scored
Touchdown,
again.
Marauder.
4 seconds.
With 1 second remaining.
Man, he got a lot
at the end of the
about.
game. How about that?
Poor kid.
He can watch it. Go out. He can watch it on YouTube for 4 quarters online.
That's right.
How about that? That's how you want to end a preseason game.
I don't
know if they're going to let them kick the extra point. And not that they need to. And I think that'll do it. Man, what a fantastic way to end this.
That was exciting. That 4 quarter. Wow.
And so a final from Frank Shaw Field here on the campus of Maclay High School. Marauders 37, Port St. Joe 50. And after what was really an abysmal first quarter, Maclay slowly came to life, and then late in the ball game really showed sparks of offense. It's fun watching Brown at quarterback. Definitely can use his legs. He might be an exceptional weapon later on in the season.
Mark,
and we'll see how he gets used.
They were down 32-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And they came back and put up 37 points. You got to be happy with the fight. But when we saw the first quarter, I had no idea we was going to put up 87 points.
So that must be a record somewhere, 87 points. And so that will do it here from Frank Shaw Field. We want to remind everybody about next week. Marauders taking on Hamilton County right here at Frank Shaw Field next Friday. Want to remind everybody about 4quartersonline.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for highlights, scores, and so much more. And we'll see everybody next week.